Yo, welcome to another episode of the 3% Family Edition. This is your boy Jay Davis. I'm here with one of the most beautiful people I know, that is the most hilarious person I know, that is the most authentic person I know. Yeah, yeah. I gotta watch her when we have talks. But I'm here with my
Safe
cousin.
word.
I'm here with my cousin Natanya. She just pulled up. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so this is kind of impromptu. I have another guest coming, but she decided to come check out what her cuz do, and this is what I do. I'm here at Tech Link in Houston, Texas. I'm getting the eye, so thank you for being on the show. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Sun is out.
Civilized Negroes walking,
You know,
you know.
not always civilized. Try to
You
stay
ain't
civilized.
lying, boy. Especially during
Try to
football
stay.
season, it's a whole
Oof,
nother
oof,
animal.
oof.
So, yo,
We ain't gonna talk football. I'm still trying to recover.
why? I
Because
thought
I'm
you.
still trying to
I thought it was a
recover.
win-win. Black women love Jalen.
Win for who? Not for us.
See, that's what I mean. These are some diehard Chief fans out here. If you're
Oh,
from the town,
which you wearing the gear? Which you wearing the hat? hmm
yeah, I'm a
that
diehard.
teeter totter
It's
on the
not a
fence.
teeter totter. Let's set this record straight. We gonna come. This Waco talk. So people have a problem with me.
Straddling the fence.
No, people have a problem with me because I think my second team is the Denver Broncos. Now, hear me out.
First team.
My first
Your
team is
first
always
team.
going to be the Chiefs. But when Derek Thomas passed, the way they treated Neil Smith and him and Derek, the way they treated him and booted him, I said, "Well, I'm gonna roll with Neil and sign."
I
Yeah,
mean, but that was business. I mean, we can let's separate the business from.
we had the money, but y'all wanted Montana now. Oh, Roger Craig.
Okay, that,
What
that
was it? Who was it? Roger Craig? Or no, Marcus Allen.
it was Mark. I think
We
it was
want
Mark.
We want Warren Moon on their last legs. I'm a diehard. I deserve to feel how I feel. We've had
That
some
was
losing seasons.
that we have,
So when
but
Neil won the ring, I was so happy for him because I feel like Derek Thomas won a ring. They worked out hard. They played hard.
okay, but you mixing issues. You mixing things up. You can have your favorite players, but still be down for your
I'm
team.
down for my team. It's people who have multiple teams. They might have their favorite team and they rock with
Wait,
another
hold on.
team.
You down for your team?
Yeah.
But you have come out with us on game day when we played the Broncos
With
in your
both,
Broncos
but I
gear.
have Broncos and Chiefs gear on. I know I'm going to
Ma-
hear. If I don't wear the Broncos stuff, then y'all going to talk crazy
Make,
before I even get
make
in
it
there.
make sense.
It does.
How
I'm
you
representing.
gonna be for two teams on the same game?
Wait, you
On,
can't hit the table. You can't hit the table.
I'm
Look, she
sorry.
get
I'm getting.
emotional. That's why she ain't on ESPN.
That's what I'm doing.
You can want two teams to win. I mean, I'm gonna win regardless. That's just y'all who choosing one team to live and die by.
But this ain't soccer. One team gotta win. One team gotta lose. Ain't no
Exactly.
tie.
So I'm winning regardless. I want the Chiefs to always win, but I mean my
Okay, then
Broncos.
that then goes back to my original statement of how
What?
you straddle the fence
I
in
don't.
fair weather.
I'm just an
You
open-minded person when it comes to sports. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Let us know who you are, where you're from, just simple things.
I'm from Kansas City. I'm from the dot. Born and raised.
So is that Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri?
You tell me. Since you've known me
I mean
most of
Kansas
my
City,
life.
Kansas, of course, but some people have a misconception of that.
I no misconception. I'm Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County,
Okay.
913, 52nd in Georgia.
52nd in Georgia. That's what the civilized Negro. They had houses. That little area, they live in a house. It could be a mansion, it could be a shotgun house, but when you live in there, oh yeah.
Wait, we had a front door and a back door.
Okay. Some people only had a front door. Apartment living.
It
The
had a,
back door don't work. Yeah.
it depends on how hard you slam it. It make it a little stuck.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
had a basement. You know,
Okay. So tell me this. How does it feel to be where you are now? And the reason why I say that is,
hmm.
I mean, I've told you before, but from coming from Wyandotte County, from
Mhm.
where we are, we have great
Mhm.
success stories. So by all
Mhm.
means, I don't want you to think that anything that comes from Wyandotte County got to be the mud. It is some civilized areas. It's some real places. It's some impoverished places. But at the end of the day, we all
Mhm.
coincide. Like this new extension of the Piper and Turner, and that's after that's above my pay grade. I wasn't around by then, but the reason why I'm
Mine
glad
too.
that you did pull up was because you were one of the first people I knew that moved from Kansas City to a whole nother state and then come back. Like it wasn't
Didn't
just
come
like I'm
back.
gonna just go, I'm gonna check my rent, fuck
Uh,
him, she ain't shit, and then came back home. Like you left like out the blue, but that's I just did a segment to I'm really big up for the next 4 years as long as wigs and politics. I'm big up in black women all 4 years. Because it says a lot like you did that.
I didn't have a choice. I mean, so to talk about where I'm at today, I got to talk about more about where I started and where I came from. So
Now, is this a conversation you want to have? Because I mean,
we ain't gonna get go into
I
detail.
mean, I'm just saying.
We gonna give the cliff notes.
Okay.
So I was fresh out of college. This was about 2000.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before we get there, give us
Where
the
you get ready to go?
give us the background of who you are. Rep your school, rep your high
Okay.
school, because everybody want to talk about the high. We come from the dot District 500. So where you from?
Well, I grew up on 52nd in Georgia, and most people would have thought, oh, she went to Schlegel. No, I went to graduated from J.C. Harvard.
Yeah, that's a great high school.
I was a
So,
hawk. I was
okay,
a
Harmon, what
hawk.
year you come out?
99.
99. Oh
99.
Lord, taking over for the 99.
And the
What was your quote that
2000.
year? Did y'all school have a mantra? I know some schools had
I don't,
back that thing up. They had party like it's 99. Was it Brother
probably.
Lynch? Was it?
My quote was "Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I'm ready to move on." I was, I thought the world was big, and I was gonna go.
So that was always your intention was to move beyond Kansas City, or
No, no. I
okay,
just knew I wanted to do something different. I didn't know what that different was. Um, and I guess part of me and knowing that I wanted to do something different, I was scared of what different was. So
mm-hmm.
I the world was big, and I knew the world was big. I was afraid of what it was, but I knew something was out there for me.
Right?
So I stayed home for my first 2 years, went to JUCO, Kansas City, Kansas Community College represent.
Yeah. Again, the school lounge, sitting down while
CJ
everybody's
never
in
went to class.
class.
He never went to. If class was the student lounge, see,
Victor Newman 101, and I minored in trading spaces, giving out perfect advice.
see,
Ali Sitchings.
CJ got a 4 year degree at JUCO's student lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't went to class yet.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
went to one class. I forgot what class it was.
Meanwhile, me, I had my glasses on. I had my
Yeah.
glasses on. I was
Well,
going
I
to
mean,
class
we're
every
gonna
day.
talk about the glow up, depending on how
I
far
had.
you want to go through.
We can talk about it. Hey, we got
We got
about
time.
30 minutes
We
to
got
kill.
time.
Had my glasses on. Had my book bag. Had books in hand.
What kind of shoes you rock? With the kids?
Shit. I was a fat, ugly kid.
She
I
was
put a.
not ugly. She was a young lady with baby. Full. She was all right. I always said she was
I
cool.
was a caterpillar. I
Caterpillar.
was a caterpillar.
Okay, caterpillar. So with that being
Turned
said,
into, you know, t- call
so
it a
yeah, I mean
butterfly.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Coming from where you from,
Mhm.
Harmon, your
Mhm.
upbringing and all.
Mhm.
So you leave Harmon,
Yeah.
you go to Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Are you are your friends around? Are you having reasons to say, "Hey, I'm just gonna be to the dot"? Because back then, remember, I'm gonna be in the dot till I die. And
No, I was from Kansas City. I was from Wyandotte. I wasn't of Wyandotte, and I think that's the
hmm
difference. That's where I grew up. That was my foundation. That was my home. But I wasn't married to it.
Right.
And even to this day, I don't rep it the way,
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
Because I always used to say I
I'm the
never
dot.
felt like I felt it. I didn't feel like I fit in
Yeah,
sometimes.
I don't feel like I fit in anywhere now. I just, and maybe that's a good thing to not, I got my roots. We got our roots. That was our foundation. But, you know,
Yeah,
that,
speaking to the mic. Yeah. You
is
can
that,
turn
is
it
that,
this way if you need
is
to.
that
If
better?
you're a side talker.
Is that better? ASMR.
That's it.
Is that what it's called?
I
ASMR? Okay. Um, but when I was a kid, it was funny. I always knew my sister was either going to be a teacher or a nurse. She ended up being a nurse
don't know. Mm.
because Bridget played dolls, and her dolls had band-aids all over them, and she
Oh,
would sit them out, and she would teach them, and then she would beat them up, and then she would fix them, and then that she would teach. So she was either going to be a doctor
she
or a
was Shonda
nurse.
Rhimes without knowing she was
She,
encouraging Grey's Anatomy every scenario.
it from day one. For me, I liked money. I liked everything about money.
And I would have never thought that.
Oh, Monopoly never had a dollar in the game because it was always in my briefcase. Claire Huxtable was my role model,
Come
not the
on, Lisa.
family. But Claire Huxtable had her suit on every day. She walked in with her briefcase, and I just knew that briefcase was full of money. So I'm
Mm.
foreshadowing.
No, it
It
makes
speaks
sense.
to who I am today.
And you know who I said Clara Huxtable was my type of ideal woman and everything, how strong she was and how she carried herself and being a
Claire
black woman, a lawyer.
Claire Huxtable.
Man,
And I thought I was going to be a lawyer I finished my 2 years at JUCO.
just hit the. I promise
Finished
you,
my two
boo boo,
years at JUCO, and then
you didn't pass my class. Let's get it going.
okay. So finished
Mhm.
my 2 years
Yeah,
and went off to Washburn. Got accepted
I
to
remember you going to
Washburn.
Washburn.
And the reason why I went to Washburn, I chose Washburn, was because of their law program. I was going to go to law school because I wanted to be Claire Huxtable when I grew up. So finished my, well, it took me a little longer to finish but it took me 3.5.
You
So
finished.
I
You finished.
finished. I graduated, and by the end of it, I was like, nah, I'm ready to get out in the world.
So, upon graduation, did you think about where you wanted to move? Were you thinking about how much I wanted? Of course, you're going to think about what kind of salary you're going to make, but are you in your mind envisioning what the next grown adult year was like, paying rent or anything of that nature?
At that point, I just wanted to get a job, and I wanted to get out in this world.
Mm.
I just wish I would have, I didn't realize how tough the world is when I knew I wanted to made the decision to step out in it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I graduated, this was 05, 06. And so I stepped out in it, and I said, I'm grown. I'm grown. You can't tell me
So, did you take
nothing.
any educational factors into being I'm grown when you graduated?
No, because by that point, I started to turn into the butterfly.
Now you gotta understand when I met her, my cousin introduced me to her. God rest her soul. Like, oh no, I'm thinking about Portia. I'm sorry. We talking about Cade. I'm sorry, Vine. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. This is about to be a whole bad thing. No, I'm thinking. I'm sorry, because me and Tara, that's the BFF. But
Okay.
when I first met this young lady, she had on a tight belt, maybe some acid wash kind of jeans or light blue jeans, white shoes, not for sure if they were kids, glasses. And when I looked down at her, I'm like, oh, okay. She's always been a beautiful person to me. You know what I'm saying? I know, I see the potential. I see what's in front of me. Sometimes what's in front of you is still as beautiful as what quote unquote people say potential was. But you did leave for a while
I left.
in school, and when I saw you again when you was of age, I didn't like that.
Well, and when we say family, not genetic or biological family, but family in every other sense of the word. So just
1980 lies family. Like some people treat you better than your actual family
that
and
part,
more. So that's family to me.
that part. But then when I came back, it was like I came back stomping into the world. Look at me now, and I remember
So
and
we
see.
got if you ever seen Malcolm and Eddie, the most hood show ever in the world of all the blackness on the UPN, they have a show called Malcolm and Eddie, and it was based off of our Westport area.
Mm-hmm.
So back home in Kansas City, and Kansas City has so much history, and that's Kansas City, Missouri, but there's so much history with good and foulness that's done to us. We had this one little strip that wasn't safe for us, but we made it safe, and then we made it dangerous. But yeah, I
It was
happened to
ugly
see
and
the grown
beautiful.
up. I seen the grown up person one time when she came back, and I didn't know it was her. The caterpillar, the glow up was occurring. So that
it,
area in life for you, you
uh-huh.
graduated, so you're accomplished.
No, I wasn't accomplished. I thought I was.
Well, graduation, that's
Well, I mean, yeah.
a huge accomplishment. So
Hmm.
that's probably something that was on your bill to do as far as the
Yeah.
Claire Huxtable feeling or anything.
Like the road to
Right. So you graduate, you got this degree, you come home, you're not a civilian anymore.
take
You
over
have
the
an
world.
education and more. How did that feel?
I'm about to take over the world. I don't know what that looked like, but that was the first step. Graduating college, and now it's conquer the world. And in conquering the world, I got to figure out who I am, and who I am at that point. Can I say?
You say what?
At that point, I was a bad bitch.
It
And
happens in life.
it
Somebody said.
um yeah, so
So what is that? I mean, was it a? And I'm just being transparent.
mhm.
Was it okay? You perceive me this way. Was it because I've accomplished this? I've lived a little bit longer outside of my everyday environment. I'm growing up, so now I feel like the world needs to receive me.
Yeah,
I'm ready for it.
all of the above. All of the above. It's like, I was closed off and guarded and behind this mask, this wall, this shell, and now
Hmm.
I've broken free, and now world, look at me, here I am.
Yeah.
And that period lasted for about, well, actually, till I moved to to Texas, till I moved to Dallas. Um, so I graduated college and found a job, and I was making $40,000 a year.
What you say?
What you say? Fresh out of college, going from
That's a
the
little cheese back then. I ain't
it,
gonna
was
say your age,
it was
but it was cheese.
it was a lot, and I was like, here I come, world. I'm about to take over. Um, and then the recession hit, and I lost my job, and I spent time trying to find out, okay, what's next? So I'm looking,
Hmm.
and at that time, I'm only a couple years at this point out of college, and now the job market is flooded with people like me looking for jobs who've got far more education, far more experience, and so I'm like, what am I gonna do?
So you got hit with the you're overqualified.
No, I'm underqualified.
That's right,
Underqualified.
because you just
I've
graduated.
just graduated
You're in
college,
your field, and then
but there are other people
what
who
field were you in, or
I was in insurance at that
okay, so
time.
dealing with the housing markets and stuff.
Well, I moved from insurance to the auto. So I was working for Chrysler because
Mm.
Chrysler was paying more money at the time, and I'd only been with Chrysler for like less than 90 days. So we all know what happens before you
Mm.
hit your 90-day mark. It's like thanks but no thanks. Shake hands, part ways. We could be friends. Let's go be friends somewhere else.
Right,
Have a nice
right.
day.
That's so
Um,
crazy with what's going on right now, unlawfully. But go ahead.
well,
Probation periods suck.
probation periods suck, but they are real.
Mm-hmm.
And I left one job to go work for another one because it paid $2 more,
Mm-hmm.
and then not really, because you're young, you're not really seeing what's going on. You don't watch the news at that point. Some people, may not watch the news now, but
Mm-hmm.
had I known then what I know, I probably would have stayed where I was at. But hindsight. So lost my job. Like, okay, I'll get out, find another one. Well, but then everybody's laying off.
Mm-hmm.
And what was happening at that point was the start of what ended up becoming the Great Recession. We just felt the effects of it sooner than everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So this was about '06. So
Okay.
for about 6 months, I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm looking.
And you're looking diligently because I
Yeah,
know you. When your mind is fixed on something.
it's so at this point, 6 months in, now the unemployment is starting to run out, and I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I started looking outside of Kansas City because I woke up and I had this feeling
Mm-hmm.
that it's not, I'm not going to find what I'm looking for here.
Okay.
And I started applying to Texas, and I was like, we're in Texas, we're in Texas. Because I started doing some research at that time. We were starting to see the effects of what ended up being
The
'08, the
fallout.
Great Recession,
Mm-hmm.
but it hadn't fully. And Texas was impacted, but not like other parts of the U.S.
Is it safe to say Texas is its own country?
Oh, no, oh, many ways, many
Yeah,
ways.
it's its own country.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They people Texans move as if it's the U.S. and then them and
The Gulf of Texas.
yeah. um. So fast forward, I packed up everything I had. My life was in a U-Haul, and my daddy, God rest his soul, gave me $500. I had about 50 to my name. He gave me 500,
Mm.
and I moved down here with $550 in my U-Haul that my daddy drove and my car. And I said, if I come back, I'm gonna come back, have made something of myself.
Mm.
I said, I'm not
And
leaving
that
to
you
fail.
have. That you have. When I tell you, again, there's certain people in your life that you can talk to them, you can talk at them, you don't have to talk at all. But you still understand, and this is just clear communication. She is one. She inspired me. She made me think out of myself. Like I don't fit in Wyandotte County really. My friends were friends when we were kids, and now we're grown. I don't particularly have a place. I always felt empty, but yet I loved home. And I had issues within family and growing, and I was growing. So when I saw you move to Dallas, I was like, Dallas. Okay. So I do know people that's moving out without having to play sports, music,
Mm-hmm.
all these things. And she just really inspired me. I went down there to visit a few times and had it was super cool. Dallas is still weird to me. It's like it's like living in Prairie Village. It's civilized. I never see black people when I'm in Dallas. Either you're rich or you're poor. But I just always, and I believe I told you that I just want to say thank you for allowing me to visit because you inspired me and to think outside of, okay, I can just move further out in Kansas or Missouri or St. Louis. So I appreciate that. How was the conversations? um, because I feel like sometimes people hold back his loyalty to family, no matter how good or how bad it is. How was the conversation to saying, "Hey, I think I need to leave," because some family members will encourage it, and some family will, pull you back. How was that a long conversation when you got a chance to tell your mother and your sisters and everybody? Like, what were they thinking? Because again,
Mm-hmm.
you this caterpillar.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I saw you on the dance floor and I looked, I was like,
He was like, get over here.
'cause in my mind, you this delicate flower, you this
Mhm.
caterpillar. So when you told me you moved, I was like, you lying.
Well, two things before I answer your question.
All
Number
right.
one, you don't have to thank me for you always quick to thank, you don't have to thank the people you care about for being there for you. But I know how you are. You feel like I need to be there for you. You know, you don't have to be there for me, but I got to be there for you. But you don't have to thank me for that. Number two,
Appreciate it.
who wants to fit in? I ain't never fit in, and I look back now,
That's your
and
superpower.
I think more people need that
I
superpower.
think more people are where you are, where you've already been, more free to be authentically themselves.
No, I think it's the opposite. I'm gonna answer your question,
Mm.
but I think the reason why the world is the way it is people try too hard to gain acceptance and to fit in and to get validation
Mm-hmm.
from other people. I think if more people stopped caring what other people think, I got to make it look good for the gram. I got to make, and just do what makes you feel good and not care so much what other people think. I think this world would be a lot better than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But back to what you said, the question you asked, what did my family think?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was always, because I never was really out and never really
Mm-hmm.
needed, I always wanted acceptance from the people who were close to me, my family, my
Okay.
close friends.
Understandable.
So when I made the decision to leave, I was in a dark place because I was going to be Claire Huxtable. I was going to conquer the world. I just didn't know where that. I thought that world was going to be the world
In
that I
your
grew
mind
up
that you
in.
had planned.
Yeah,
You had plans.
yeah, and it was going to be here. I didn't realize maybe that vision would happen, but it may not look the way I thought it was going
Mm-hmm.
to look.
They
So
always got that quote talking about every parent will tell you what kind of parent they're gonna be until the child arrive. Then you find out what kind of parent you're gonna be once the baby is actually there, kicking, fussing.
well,
So that's
I
how
got
life is.
I got a better quote for you.
Mm-mm.
You
Mm-hmm.
want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Tom. um, but yeah, so when I had the conversation, my daddy said, "I just want you happy. I see you in a dark place. Go be happy."
Mm.
My mom, on the other hand, she didn't believe I was leaving until that U-Haul pulled up. And
Oh
when that
Lord.
U-Haul pulled, oh, she was so mad
Not
at me. Oh, she could.
I don't want no parts of your mama.
If looks had daggers, she'd have cut right through. And when I left, the day I left, she hugged me and she started crying and she said, "I'm proud of you." But
Mm.
the the days when we were clearing out my apartment, oh, she was not. She was so mad at me. But then she said, "You'll be back," and I said, "No, I ain't. I'm not coming back.
Mm.
I'm not coming back." And it was at the year mark where she was like, "I just knew you'd be back." I said, "I told you I wasn't coming back."
Mm.
And even now to this day, I've been gone for
You've been longer
almost
than
20
me.
years.
I've been here 15 years, so
So it's almost 20. So I moved here in '07.
you got 2 years to your 20th
So it's
anniversary. You
almost,
better do something big. Let me know where you're cruising to. I'm coming.
I'm going to Jamaica.
No, Watum bombe clot.
I'm going to Jamaica soon.
I'm
I got
going.
I got to stick my feet in some sand. I need to but my daddy said, "I just want you happy." He gave me $500. He said, "Don't come back." I said, "I ain't
Now,
coming
did you
back."
go with a job already lined up or
No.
sink or swim?
Sink or
Come
swim.
on. I came down here with
I
nothing
didn't
but clothes. I
I
had
didn't
no
even
job when I moved.
sink or swim. I didn't even have an apartment. I'm on the phone driving down in my car. I went with my friend Shauna.
Y'all rich? Y'all got cell phones?
I had a cell phone. I had a cell phone. Couldn't afford to pay the bill. Had to get some help on the bill. Told you I had $200 of my own. Daddy gave me. So, uh, but yeah. So I'm trying to
Mm.
finalize my apartment. It was an awful apartment, but hey, it was what I could afford. It was
It was
it was a
what you
means
needed.
to it
Mm-hmm.
was to get me through to because I had a vision. Um, and the first couple years was rough, but I said I'm gonna make it. I'm hell bent on making this work.
Mm-hmm.
And then things got better slowly. You stick at it. You know, and then I moved from Dallas. Uh,
So, let me ask you a question for Dallas. What did you learn more about yourself? There it is. I think they catch your voice more because I talk like this too. So when you're talking, if you hear your voice directly, that means you're on that mic.
oh,
If it wavers a little bit sometimes, but
oh,
anyway,
okay.
what did you learn about yourself in Dallas, and what did you learn about the world in Dallas? If you can sum
Yeah.
that up, because again, you're leaving home.
Mhm.
You're this caterpillar that's coming out. So
Mhm.
you have new wings.
Mhm.
You're moving to Texas.
Mhm.
Now it's an entirely different. If you don't move to Texas and get a sinus infection or allergies,
I have
you
a
are not
puffy
of
right
this
now.
world. You are not of this world. The first thing they told me was I woke up and saw pollen everywhere. I didn't know what pollen was. It was green. Nobody was out in the hood. I thought I was left behind. I literally called my mom and was like, "Are you home? Because this yellow stuff all over
What
the
the hell
car, and
is
I'm
this?
sneezing in my eyes." But what did you learn
Mhm.
by living in Dallas,
Mhm.
and how did it help you reflect from when you went home to visit? Because I tell people I got about 3 good days, 4 good days to be at home. Then I got to go. I
Oh,
got to go back to Houston.
I'm
So
3 exactly. By that second, towards the end of that second day, I'm itching and I'm gonna pick a fight with somebody. What did I learn? Coming from Kansas City is small, and I made my world even smaller because I stuck to what was comfortable for me,
hmm
and so there's safety in sticking to what you know was comfortable,
yeah.
and then you get outside of that comfort, that shell, and then you realize, man, this world is ugly,
Mm.
and this world don't the safety and the love and the comfort that you had once you step outside of that, this world sucks. It's ugly. But in the ugliness of it, there's beauty in it. Um, so what did I learn moving to Texas?
hmm
You
You
know,
have
you
the
see
floor. You
you
have the
see
floor.
you see racism. You deal with racism.
hmm
But then there are ways to, when you got your people, when you got your core, when you got your nucleus,
You got
there's
your
ways
tribe.
to insulate yourself from it. So
hmm
I saw it, especially when I went off to college, Washburn being Topeka. I
hmm
saw it there.
Top city.
Really saw it when I moved to Texas. But, what did I learn about myself? I'm strong. I'm what they used to say, for tough. I'm tough. I didn't know how tough I was
Mm.
until I got outside of the comfort.
Right.
You learn how to be tough. You learn how to persevere. You learn, struggle. Struggle. You're gonna struggle. But you know, if you put in the work, you put in the effort, that discomfort that comes along with struggle, it's temporary, or it should be temporary, because you keep working at it until you. I ain't gonna live in this forever. I ain't gonna stay in this forever. So I'm
hmm
looking towards the end of this. So some days when I remember, Walmart used to allow you to write a check, so and you can get cash back off of a check.
Come on
So
now.
I would write a check on Wednesday, and knowing that I got paid on Friday, it would take them 2 days
The
for that check to
transactions
get
happen.
there. So I knew, okay, payday is Friday. I'm gonna write this check for $20 over. They're gonna give me cash back. That's gonna put gas in my tank and food.
hmm
Give me a little something
99
to eat
cent.
to carry me over
hmm
before that transaction hit my account. So you learn how to hustle as you working through. I know if I need to, my light bill is due, and that pink letter is
That
getting ready
pink
to come in the
notice.
mail. What day is that? Okay, so I got until this day, and then I can go, and that give me about a few days, about 2 weeks before. So I'll just try to scrape up the money, and then I can go pay it in person, and they
hmm
call it in, so they don't turn my light. You just learn how to
Survive in the
survive
land of
until,
the way of the land. Yeah.
yeah. So it was a lot of that. I had to figure out how tough am I? You figure out how to get creative. There was a lot of okay. Who got a happy hour special where if I buy a drink, I could eat two? Okay, and then you line them up because I don't have no food.
I got this window, so I'm ordering enough so I can take it home
I
and
got
possibly eat tomorrow.
I got $5. So if I order a drink, I can give a tip on top of the drink, but then I can get food. And if I bring a big enough bag, I could take some of the and
Come
pack it
on.
up, and now I got lunch.
Come on.
You learn how to
I'm not mad at it.
you learn how to
I'm not mad at it.
survive.
I had a plastic bag eating at Shoney's back in the day,
Hey,
trying to get the gummy bears.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
you do what you got to do until you get where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
So then things started to turn around for me.
All right.
As you going through it, the the path to where you're trying to go on is not linear. Sometimes, it don't always take a straight line. Here's
Mm-hmm.
where I'm trying to go. I've arrived. It's because I just went straight.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you kind of veer off to the left or to the right, or you may hit a bump or a brick wall, and then you got to go around.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of that. But then you stay the course. I know on the other side of this, I get back on course. And so in 17, I got a well. In 2011, I started working for J.P. Morgan Chase.
I had a funky good time in Dallas. I was drunk as shit one day.
I'm naked. I'm exposed.
I ripped my t-shirt, franked the tank.
It have.
Okay, we gonna leave it at that.
Safe word.
Whatever that
Orange.
orange. But whatever that happy hour spot, the Chinese place with the 50-cent beers and yeah,
Sake.
yeah, konnichiwa, shishining, Bruce Lee, whatever. I was
Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Lee. Anyway, so let's get past Dallas.
Yeah,
That was my
yeah.
one. Yeah.
That was probably right before I moved here. That was right before, because then I came to Houston because you were living in. Well, you been here. You left Kansas City, moved here.
Yeah, I moved to Houston 2011.
Okay, I started working for J.P. Morgan in 2011, and so you came here.
Finally packed, no job. My homeboy was supposed to get me set up. I ended up in Greens Point. Shout out to Green Point. I don't care if y'all say if it's the hood, it ain't hood. Y'all Crips and Blood still talk.
It's
Y'all Crips and Blood still cool.
I mean, it ain't California Compton.
I'm just saying, every city be like, oh, we so hood. I'll take y'all hood
Oh yeah,
any day. My
that's
rent was
it.
$530, and I had high vault ceilings. I only had like 4 or 5 roaches in the whole year I lived there. That's paradise.
Oh yeah, cause see, my rent, my first apartment when I moved from Kansas City, I moved to Arlington. My rent was $550,
How many
and
square feet? Mine was 760.
like 600,
I was balling.
and I had all the roaches. All the
You had to
roaches.
shake your shoe before you went out every day.
And they wasn't the little baby non-threat. No, these was aggressive roaches. They was of all size, genders, race, creed. They was. Ooh,
You all right?
Please edit that
Oh, that's staying in there. But
out. Okay.
so you moved to Houston.
yeah.
Was it because you got another job offer and you prayed
So-
about it and thought about it, or what's going on in Dallas to even make you say, "Hey, maybe I need to look at this other opportunity"?
So I've been working for the bank. So I started with the bank in 2011,
Mhm.
and promotions, different positions. Um, I had moved up a little, not anything where I was balling out of control. Um, but in 2007, I was offered a job, and one of the stipulations was to take this job, you've got to relocate because the team was here in Houston. And I said, well, I love Dallas. I hated Houston at that
I
time.
remember you used to always be
Ooh.
like, "I hate you." I'll be like,
Houston
"How
is
can you
dirty."
hate Houston?" I'm like, "Dallas, JFK just died yesterday. It's traditional, gentrified ass hood, Oak Cliff." I was like, "What?"
That one,
Sorry about that, Sheikah. No, I don't want no smoke. I want no
You you
smoke. Go
you gonna
ahead.
get all the smoke for that one. Um, but yeah, no, Houston was dirty, and it didn't make sense to me. What the hell is a feeder road, and why y'all got all these
Yeah.
circles?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's humble. I don't know what an humble is. We say H's back home.
Yeah, it's like humble. What is humble?
They said go to humble. I'm on 45. I drove to the Woodlands. I said I don't see an humble. I said I drove past humble. Everybody on the phone was laughing. I drove past it and I'm like HUMBL. That's humble.
That's humble.
I don't trust pastors down here that says humbling. It's a humbling experience. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no. I
This
had the
Houston
same.
life.
I thought, what is a feeder road? Oh, you mean the side street? In Dallas we call that the service road. It's the road. It's the road beside the highway that you use to get on or get off.
But it's no word that says feeder road.
No.
So when I started and didn't know they had tolls from 45 and I'm driving and I'm in Pearland and I'm like freaking out like I'm running out of quarters and I asked them, hey, what is a feeder road? I'm like, you're driving next to it. And I call the people and they just laughing. Boy, y'all ain't shit,
It's
Texas.
just
Houston,
it's,
y'all ain't
it's just,
shit.
you know what's all these circles? How you get lost in Houston? Just get on 610. Just get. What you mean this big? You can't get lost in Houston. I get lost in Houston.
Houston showed me country miles. A country mile in Houston. My mother said when she came to visit, she said, "Y'all miles, y'all streets too long."
It's like they. How? That's another thing. How is it where I'm trying to go? It's 2.7 miles, but it take me 20 minutes to get there.
I mean, you got these 30-day tags out here. Then I'll stay out the road during income tax. Next time you are driving down the street and somebody swerve or something, look at their tags. 30-day
30 days.
tags.
30 days.
So you moved to Houston.
I moved
You're
to
thinking
Houston.
about Houston.
Well, they offered me the job. I hated Houston. I'd been a couple times, but I'm like, well, if I gotta move,
I'm down here though. I'm your boy.
well,
I got you.
and so I'd been down here with you once
Right.
before, but I didn't really because
Do-
I hate Houston.
Right. Preconceived
But-
notion and the way you viewed it. Yeah.
Because the times I've been here before, you was living in Kirkendall.
Yeah. Greenspoint.
Greenspoint.
$530 high vaulted ceiling.
Yeah, you was living in luxury.
I was living like midnight on the coldest
Hey.
winter ever. Go
Hey.
ahead.
So I had been here before. You showed me around. I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. Mm-mm. But then when they offered me the job, God's setting things up and moving things and people in my path to get me prepared for where I'm trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd been here before, and I'm like, yeah, I told her, I would never move here. You need to move to Dallas. Dallas was great.
I'm like, last time I went to Dallas to visit her was when they had that shootout downtown. She was late to pick me up. All I hear is pop,
He said, where are you at? Where are you at? I said, I'm on my way. Man, they shooting down here.
That's when they had that shootout at the garage. And I'm just looking like, she probably, in my mind, she's driving, talking about, I don't want to wait for this world to be over. Listening to her music. And I'm up here with gunshots. Go ahead. So,
but you did have fun that last
did,
time.
yeah.
The last time
yeah. Orange. Go ahead.
Okay. So they made me the offer. They said I need to move. I said, well, how much money am I gonna be making? They gave me the number. I said, okay, I can make Houston work for it. I can do that. All right, bet. So packed up everything, and I said, okay, I need to be central. So I moved by the Galleria.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, things just took off for me, and my career took off. And like going back to what I said, even when things started taking off, and I started moving in the direction that on my road to being Claire Huxtable with her briefcase, that path wasn't linear either. There was some forks in the road, there was some deviation, there was some self-discovery. Learned I was very ADHD.
No. Your driving tells me that
I'm better now. I ain't
you are
medicated.
better now.
I ain't medicated today, but I got enough coursing through my
It's all
veins
good.
that I'm
It's
taking for the rest of the way.
but but it's good you learn more things.
Yeah, you learn by
You know, it's a blessing. God moved you here and you learn more about
yeah,
yourself.
you know,
And even at your age, as far as when
big
we're
grown
grown,
age, big
you have to
grown
make the
age.
changes, you know, once
Uh,
they come.
yeah, how you get diagnosed at ADHD when you old as excuse my language, old as shit.
The aunties need help too.
Hey, we do, and I'm not afraid to say when I don't take that pill and I got important crap to do, I have a whole meltdown.
I know.
I
Oh,
remember when I went through the shortage and I went to CVS. Doctor called in my prescription because that's not one of those medications that you can just get on automatic refill. No, you got to, you got to call. Hey, I'm ready for my next refill, and
yeah.
then I got to give them my ID. But there was a shortage, and I am one
Mm,
that needs it,
yeah.
like seriously needs it.
Hmm.
And so I drive up in my car, hand them my ID, give them, hey, I'm here to pick up.
I need my shit. I
I
need to
need
work.
right. I I'm down to one pill. They were like, yeah, this is on a 2 week back order. Come again? 2 weeks. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I need you to. Well, I can't transfer your prescription because of the type of medication this is. I had a whole meltdown in the CBS parking lot. What am I going to do? You need to call another store because I need.
I need that.
I said, and then I had to come back to myself. I said, self, you sound like a whole crackhead right now.
Come on, Brown.
Get your ID back and go because you done embarrassed yourself in the CVS parking lot. Now you can't never come back here again because they're going to report you that you are Adderall dependent, which I am a little bit, but I know myself.
I'm about to say at least, you know, you have the right paperwork to do it. You're not abusing it.
No,
And which, of course, is going to be interesting the way that things are now, depending on kids just need to meditate. They don't need any pills. They don't need anything to help them as far as medication. But I mean, that's a whole Kennedy thing. Anyway, inside joke. So
hell they don't.
you're in Houston. You are blossoming. Number one, I just want to say thank you for trusting me enough to move to be there for you all in Houston because I'm scared of your mama. So if
I'm
anything was
scared
to
of her
happen, I
too.
know she'd be like, "Where's CJ?" I'm like, I ain't even there. But I just appreciate you allowing me to assist you to get started to find your forever because I've always felt like you were a person who deserved a lot. You are a person that's to me spoke volumes for a lot of individuals, no matter if they were kids, middle schools, adult people, even older people that did not understand being yourself is authentically the best thing to be because the world has everybody else. Everybody else is taken.
Mhm.
So
Say
why
that
can't
one.
you be yourself? And the reason why I'm glad you're here, and this wasn't planned or anything, but
So what?
I just want you to see the value in if you look around, you see so many people being authentically themselves. You see the followers still, but you are like Cree Summers on a different world. A different world was almost 30 some years ago, but everything she said is relevant right now.
Okay.
Now, who is weird? Who is you were just blessed with the authenticity to not tear yourself down, to be exhausted at your age, finding out who you are. And that's a blessing.
I just say who wants to be like anybody else. There's no fun in that.
I
You
ain't
know,
gonna lie, if I could be like Idris for a day, I'd probably be a whole animal in these streets.
well, I mean, I wanted to be like Claire Huxtable,
I mean, Claire, yeah, she's that woman.
but I mean, you see people now. All the guys look alike.
All of
All
them
the
look like
women
2K
look.
basketball players, the same haircut,
All the women for sure look alike. They all got the same wig,
the ant body.
the same eyelashes that's out to here, the same makeup, the same BBL.
And
That
that's fine if that's what you truly want.
I
Understand.
mean, but
If you're doing it for yourself or whatever, I get it. I have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with it. Just if that's what works for you, like I said, I accept people for who they are. Now, if you're a girly girl and you just love makeup, I understand why you wear makeup. If you're a natural person, then that's fine. But everybody's wired a little bit different. So
But do you wear it because that's what you and maybe the
that's what
answer
I'm
is
saying.
yes.
That's what I'm saying. Some
But
women are just girly girls that
yeah,
truly love makeup, and then
but
you know.
the others, do you wear it because that's what society says, that's the standard of beauty that society has set, and now you're trying to fit into that standard of beauty? Like, where's the originality? Where's the everybody looks the same, and so is it really because that's who you are, or is that because of what society is?
Glad you said that. So, fellas, she's basically saying it's a challenge. I'm so sick and tired of all these beard gang dudes. Cut your beards off and show
No,
these
no, 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 no,
women
no,
what
no,
your
no, no.
chins look like. Stop looking the same. Team Naked Faces out here winning.
Mm-mm.
Yes, I'm calling you out. So, if you got a beard, trim that hoe off. Show what your chin look like. Bow.
You gonna show what your beard, your chin look like?
Shoot, I'll go naked face in a minute. I
Oh, you
don't
think
mind.
then? No, no, no,
Yeah, I cut all that off many times. I was just like
no,
that 2 months ago.
because you look funny, and I told you
I
that.
don't look funny. I just
Yes,
look
you.
young.
No, who wants to look young?
I look like.
You know, you still got facial hair.
Oh, I can't see it.
I think what you trying to look like? You trying to look like that boy right there?
Yeah, that big head
Mm-mm.
joker with the perfect hairline. But now I got that KD on the side and
Mm-mm.
this LeBron. I'm
You gonna go get some fibers?
tell you, shout out to Teach, man. Teach cut my hair, it be so right. Boy, she be having me look like a little young Thundercat. Like I can go to the Harris
Get
house.
that crispy.
Boy, take that bad boy. Take that. Yeah, I said it. I'm get that Diddy line up, that Harvey line up. So I'm sorry. But let me ask you a question.
What's up?
When you look back on the environment, loving, good, bad, or indifferent, you look at where you're at now in a beautiful area. I love your home. The home is fire. Like if I lived out there, I'd be trying to barbecue. I would learn how to barbecue every weekend.
Oh, you should come over. I got a whole grill
I
back.
know, but I'm just saying.
All you gotta do,
I got you.
I'll even supply the meat. You just gotta cook it.
Pause.
See, no, I can say it. You can.
I know. I'm like, I was like, pause. Don't
Well, I guess I can't say
nah,
that.
I'll just bring the fruits and veggies. But
I will supply the steak. How about that?
That'll
We're
work,
more
that'll work.
specific. Okay.
so how does it make you feel? Have you had this? Because sometimes I still wake up and like, wow, I live in Houston. Like I still wake up feeling like, dang, you really moved from Kansas City. You've
Mm-hmm.
been gone from Kansas City, removed to the point where I'm something like a Houstonian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you sometimes wake up and just be in awe of what God has done for you?
I was
Sometimes,
about to go there. I was about to go there. Not in awe of my story and like everything that I just said. It's not of anything of my own doing or my own free will. Because I don't even, I wake up going, man, how did I get here?
hmm
Nothing but the grace of God. He planted a seed and we've got free will. And in my life, especially when I was going through that period, coming out of college, I could have made decisions and gone in a direction that wasn't the
hmm
direction that, but he put something in me to say, no, stay the course, stay this course. And so it wasn't of my own doing. It was nothing but the grace of God that led me to where I'm at today. And
mm
so I would be a fool to think that I did this all by myself.
If he keeps leading you, why are you gonna run an audible? He gave you the playbook.
Hey, but sometimes we try to change the play.
Boy, I'm like a bull in a china store
Why do we do it? Why?
because our
Sometimes.
flesh don't want nothing to do with God at times. My mentor told me that. I said it makes sense.
But it's
But hey, that's why he sees our hearts and not who we are.
no, but sometimes, most times, when we deviate from the path that he's charted for us, we make it difficult on ourselves.
That's what I'm saying. The devil ain't did all this. You have to take. Listen,
No, how the devil's just
We
whispering in
so
your
ti
ear, and you go, "Okay, I'm listening, devil."
we as individuals move according to how we want to when our
Yeah,
flesh don't want nothing to do with a God, and the devil just happened to pick up the letter and be like, this
yeah,
ain't even me.
yeah.
They did that on themselves. So that's a whole nother
Whole nother podcast for a whole nother day. We can spend a whole
Trust me, I've been there.
right there,
I've been there.
and maybe my course or a lot of people's courses would be a little bit more linear if
Yeah.
they didn't listen to the voices or listen to.
But see, that's the reason why we're doing this, because you can have the ability to share with your friends, family, or loved ones who might have a kid that, since Issa Rae, and I understand Issa Rae, the awkward black girl. It's so many sensational, awkward black girls that feel awkward and they're really not. They're just authentically themselves.
I was
And
the
they killing
awkward
it. You
black
see what
girl.
I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
I'm still the awkward
And
black
now
girl.
we,
I just
and
knocked these headphones off my head.
and now
Awkward
when
black
you
girl.
look at TV,
Yeah.
you see the Issas, you see the people
Yeah.
that may be considered quirky or
Now,
they intelligent Daphne's and all this, but they
uh,
winning. They out here when they
now
running
the awkward
stuff.
black girl is kind of cool.
It is.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk it?
I did. I
Well,
always
because you were the awkward black boy
but,
to be an
exactly.
awkward.
That's it. So if you can say at what point in your life, or if there's anything that you can say, not necessarily defining moments, or we all have these flashes. At what point in your life, when did you feel like you discovered your 3%, meaning it's the thing that drives you, it changed your life no matter good or bad? What do you feel that occurred to create your 3% that set you on the trajectory where no matter if it's in the past or even right now to where you're leading? Because in my
Mhm.
thoughts, when people ask what's my next 5-year plan, I don't have one.
Mhm.
However, in the season of this election,
Mm.
and the way that I've seen black men look at black women in some ways, the
Mhm.
world look at black women, the
Mhm.
way they talked about black women, matter of factly,
Mhm.
it changed my life. I feel like by the end of this presidency,
Mm.
I want to truly be happy. I want to truly be comfortable in my skin,
Mhm.
settled in
Mhm.
my ways as far as financially,
Mhm.
and I'll be 50. So when 50 hits, I just want to live. Oh, I can't wait. AARP is a beast. I'm excited about free 99.
I'm glad I'm still young.
Absolutely. But what would you consider that like a
Defining
moment that happened? Because we all have defining moments, right?
Yeah.
But what was your 3% that said, hey, for me, it was one of them was seeing the Cosby Show. I just
Mhm.
addressed this.
Mhm.
My daddy lived across the street from me.
Mhm.
My cousin Artie and Daniel had a daddy. That was
Mhm.
a daddy. My
Mhm.
daddy was just my daddy. So that's the value.
Mhm.
So when I saw Bill Cosby and Claire, I said, that's what marriage looks like. That's what a family looks like.
Mhm.
And from there, I sought out decent men, the Al Collinses, the
Mhm.
Bobby Nesbys, the Rick Franks.
Mhm.
That set me out to know what following a man is as far as Family Guy or whatever
Mhm.
versus just following people. So,
Mhm.
what was your 3% that got you,
Mhm.
or at least set you off?
Oh, so I watched the Cosby Show too. I still watch the Cosby Show to this day. But so my daddy was in my house. He was present.
Mm.
Sometimes at times a little too present. May he rest in peace. I miss him every day.
Mm-hmm.
But when I watched the Cosby Show, I watched it differently. I was watching Claire, and not Claire for the family and at the kids.
Claire ran that household.
I was watching Claire because Claire would get everybody in check with a straight face. I said what I said, and I ain't gonna say it again. And I wanted to be that.
Matter of fact.
Matter of fact, period. At the end of sentence, I ain't saying it no more. And don't follow behind me asking me, well, why? Or questioning
Mm-hmm.
what I said when I said it.
That was it.
That was it. So I watched the Cosby. I was gonna be
Claire
Claire.
did it.
So
And I tell people that joke. Claire ran that household from simply saying Cliff. He didn't know if he was in trouble, if he was going to get sex, if he needed to be quiet, or just to know that he's safe.
Yeah.
She did that.
you were in Baltimore with the ratchet.
Big fun.
Having big fun.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Well,
our time is almost up,
oh,
but you can always come back. Oh,
I didn't
no.
answer my question. So,
Oh, go
defining
ahead.
moment, real
I'm
quick,
sorry.
30 seconds. My defining moment, Great Recession, lost my job, decision to move to Texas. That was my defining moment. That was my 3%.
And from there, what did it put inside of you?
The will to not look back.
Mm.
If I came back to the city, and I told my mama this when she said, I thought you were coming back. I said, if I ever come back to the city, it's because I choose to, and I'm coming back a different person.
Come on, man. That's what I
So
tell people all day, every day when they still ask me if I'm coming back home.
I can come back now. But man,
That third day,
you can't afford to pay me. I've looked at coming back. They just don't pay me enough to come back.
I said I will only come back if my mother is on intensive care, like
No, I'll bring
real
mama
bad out.
here.
Or no, it's too overwhelming. I'd
Oh,
have to get her some ADHD pills. She can't do it in country miles. She said Houston got too much to offer. I remember when
I'll
she
bring her
first
here.
came to visit, she said, I see all these tall women around here and I ain't got no grandkids.
My brother came before he passed one of the last visits, and we were sitting at Max's Wine and Dive on a Sunday. You know, Max's is like happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
So we sitting in this two-seater table, and I know you need to wrap up, but me and Sean sitting across, and he's telling me what's going on with him, and we sitting, and all of a sudden, there's some young lady tender with a big booty walk by, and he does one of these, and I go, Sean,
Fix your
right,
face.
back here, and he said, okay, I'm with you. So we start talking again, like me and you talking,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden, another one come walking, and I go, Sean, back here. He go, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
we start once again. There's another one, and I said, "Come on, Sean, come on, really?" He said, "Sis, I'm sorry, I can't help it. Y'all got beautiful women here." And I said,
Yeah.
"Well, I guess
Houston
we
will make
do."
a Houston will make you want to work out.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
So
I need to bring you back on the show again.
that's
For
a
real.
whole nother. Because everybody,
I said black women work out. They don't care what their hair look like,
and
and they put on a hat with hair already on it and still be out.
And the thing is, the thing that now I appreciate about Houston that I didn't understand when I was living in Dallas is the women got they together. It ain't, you ain't just a regular, there are some of those, but the ones that
Mm-hmm.
they
They got
they
some
they
all natural
and they
women here.
moving and they
Mm-hmm.
shaking and they don't look like they not like us.
They don't have the long navels. I'll explain to you later.
okay.
You're perplexed.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end it. When you tune
Because
into another episode of the
they done
Jay
cut it off
Davis,
and put it back
you
together.
didn't cut a new episode of the Jay Davis 3% show. I'm here with my cousin Tanya. And we out. Why cold to the heart?